My childhood was that of the normal Russian child. Grew up, my family in a remote town. Didn't have much. It was cold and dreary.
What was the name of the street you grew up on? She looks at you deadly. And tell me about it.
Hold on, I gotta look at actual Russia.
Nice.
I want to point out that Ishchu, this is kind of something that, while you're thinking about it, while the player is looking it up, it's something that is
Shut up.
coming hard to get to your mind.
Central Russia. My father, he worked in a factory. Why is any of this important? Why is this relevant?
She looks at you sadly. Ishchu, I have a son that passed away when he was just a baby, and I've had quite a few kids since. But that son, while I came into power, I did something.
Klaus, you motherfucker.
Oh fuck.
Klaus, you motherfucker.
Oh my god.
She looks
His
back
eyes.
at the court. You can't try him as a human, because he's not a human. He's a clone
Oh.
of my son.
Oh, that actually answers my question. It appears clones do have souls. Oh,
Why?
Because, well, that false childhood that you had up until you came into the KGB, which I myself was a part of for quite some time, everything before that is a lie. You just kept screaming horrible screams. Even whenever you were just a toddler, the only way that we were able to get you to stop was to, well, erase it all. I think that, honestly, because I tried to give you his memories at first, I think that his death was a bit too much. At least for you at the time.
But it still does not make you culpable for what has happened.
You're my son. You're my responsibility.
That does not make you culpable. My sins are not on your head. The sins of the son do not translate to that of the mother or the father.
She looks back over to the judges. He's not a human. He's a tool that I made to kill. He's no more responsible for what he's done than a sniper rifle is for what the shooter has done.
If that's the case, then even so, you aren't the shooter.
She looks back over to you. Are you sure I'm not?
I wasn't always this brutal. When I was in the KGB, what I did, I regret it. I had nightmares. I cared. I was not a monster then. So you can't blame yourself for that. The horrible things I've done did not come until after the KGB. So you having me join them, you having me become one of them, my sins are not on your head for that.
As I said, everything before you joined the KGB is a lie. You came into being as what you are now, as Dante Resnikov, as a member of the KGB. I did that. I'm responsible.
Then why did I change so much? Why did I become a worse person?
Because the job required you to become so.
No! The job had nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with what I am now. It's a lie. It wasn't the job.
She looks
You
back
know-
over to the judges.
You
I've said
know
my
who
piece.
it was.
I've said my piece. I'll let him free, and from what I understand about hell, you can't keep me, so I'm just going to go. And she begins to climb down the steps, and as she reaches down to the first... She jumps in the portal. She doesn't come out the other side. She just vanishes.
Bosco was sure he put output portal there.
Anyone with sufficient enough ability to move between the planes doesn't technically need to exit anywhere you want them to.
I mean, you're kind of guessing she was summoned here, and the platform was the only place she existed on. She probably got snapped back to Earth. I believe we have sufficient information to form a vote. He looks over to Sebastian.
Hold on. So this vote is formed of who you believe is culpable for the things I've done, yes?
That is not up for me to decide. It is up for the judges when they vote.
But
And
there
they
was
have
someone-
voted for her having you as her responsibility.
there's someone who's more responsible than just her. Someone who did more, someone who affected me more than her.
And who
is
might
my-
that be?
Personal belief that she is the cause. Amelia Carlson.
1 second.
Unfortunate.
Oh,
Hello.
There you are.
Hi.
I need to fix that somehow, and I don't know how. Anyways, as you say that, Amelia appears at the stand.
Is she flickering or is she fully solid?
She is a little bit more solid than the other two, but she's mostly not there.
Okay, so I can assume she's still alive. Fantastic. Upon seeing this woman, who you all recognize as the woman Ishchu was gonna marry, he looks kind of... not sure how to describe it. He doesn't look angry, he looks more hurt, furious, sad, and all this kind of mix of emotions that are kind of leaving him blank-faced. Yeah, betrayed. There you go. Hello.
She looks down over at Ishchu, and then looks back up at the judges. And she turns back. Look. I never wanted to see you again. Why am I here?
Tell them what you did, Amelia.
Oh, that I was doing a job. That's it. All I did was a job. I was
So
with
you-
you for not even that long,
took the emotions of a man you knew was not mentally well. Do you have any idea what that could have done, or did you not care about the after?
It was the job. The ethical part is not something for me to explore. I am an agent, and I do what I have to do to get the job done.
Did you not care at all, Amelia?
Look, I'm not doing this. Can I just... She looks around. Can I just go? There was no response.
Tell them what you did.
Bosco would very much be likings to know what you be doing, yes?
Go in detail. My life has already been laying waste for everyone else here. Might as well add on to the pile. Tell them.
I'm not doing this, and she steps off the stand, vanishing.
I open up a portal, putting her right back on the middle of the stand.
Damn it, Bosco.
What the fuck? She says as she steps through.
I do it again. I just keep, as soon as she tries to move off the stage, I just open it up and keep putting her back and closing the portals behind her.
Welcome to hell, by the way.
You're going to keep running like... I suppose that is the one thing you're good at.
We've all done we've both done jobs. It's a part of the work. You know that.
There are lines. When you cross those lines, you do bad things. I mean, you change people.
Before they had me appear here, whatever that is, she points over at Bosco.
Hello, my name is Bosco, yes?
Whatever he's recording, that got put in my head. I know why you're here. I've only killed, 20 people? You've killed 300. Are you really going to say that I'm responsible for that? Are you really going to say that you're not responsible for your own actions?
You broke me.
And you can put yourself back together. You're a big man. Take some fucking responsibility.
Bosco has killed hundreds of people because they betray Bosco, yes? That is their action, not Bosco's, yes?
The King of Hell looks over at you, Bosco. I'm going to have fun with your soul.
I tip my head to him.
I will have fun with your soul when the time comes.
And you know it doesn't work. You've seen people. You know how people work. You know what happens when people break. You can't fix someone. You know what you were.
Look.
You created a monster. You didn't even
What
care.
you became after that? That was up to you. You could have cried and sulked and stayed like that. You could have just forgot about it and moved on. I did my job. I'm not responsible for you. You are not my responsibility.
Keep telling yourself. I hope you can sleep well. If I do get out of here,
I sleep like a fucking baby.
Ah, so it doesn't trouble you at all then, huh?
Why would it? It's a job.
You mean like the baby?
A job is
had
one
it.
thing. Don't get me wrong. A job is one thing. It's what you're told to do. However, what matters is the way you do it.
You were supposed to get information.
I was
could have done
also
that a
supposed to
number of
break you.
ways.
I was supposed to make sure you would be out of commission for just long enough for the top agent to just not be there when he was needed. But no, you wouldn't even do that. You had to keep working.
I had to provide for us. I did what I had to do to make sure we could have been.
Well, why do you do it now? I've looked you up. You have all this money. You going by this new name. And after all of that, after all the money, you still do the work.
It's not about the money. I don't care about. I don't know anything else other than this. There's some people, some jobs that need to be done. People like them, and he points back at all of them. Look at him, the one that looks like a pirate. You think that soft, pathetic fool, he could kill an enemy assassin? You think he could stop a terrorist organization? No. He couldn't do it. I don't think any of them, barring perhaps the one in the suit, could.
Hello. I wave.
Well,
Okay,
I'm
okay.
glad that I helped you achieve what you wanted to do. She
I
looks
don't
over at the
want
judges, more specifically at Bosco. Can I go now?
I don't want this. But
I look over at I look over to some of the other judges. Any other questions from you peoples? Yes.
Well, actually, she hasn't fully explained what she did exactly, just so we can get that clear.
Fine,
Oh yes, vague terminologies. Bosco be confused by whole thing. Bosco only half listening. Yes.
Oh,
Issue.
God.
Exactly how long were you guys together?
Let's see. Let me do some math real quick. You met her before the KGB, after it collapsed. Joined the OW, so about a good 4 or 5 years.
I work for an agency called Viper, and I was ordered to, well, get some information on some of his missions, as well as, seduce him. That was all it was at first. And after being with him for so long, the mission changed. I had to disrupt his files, take the information on his current target, and run. So I did it. I did my job. I took the information, and I left.
And then looks to the judges. If what Miss Swan did makes her culpable, if simply bringing me into existence, putting me in a line of work, makes her culpable, then what this woman did, affecting me so deeply, it shattered my mind and caused deep psychosis. That should also make her culpable. You cannot blame one and not blame the other.
Another vote pops up, Bosco. Is Amelia responsible for Issue's actions? And hold on.
Yep.
What is your vote?
Ooh, this is a toughie. Oh god, I kind of want to do the yes and no again. Yeah, a yes and no again. Bosco totally understands that as just doing a job, you got to do what you got to do to get the job done. That's absolutely who Bosco is as a person. But he also understands that there are repercussions to every action.
Okay, I'll send you back. The
kinda-
vote tally comes up 3-3.
3 to. What the shit?
There were 7 votes previously. Why are there only 6 now?
Honestly, I'm
Eric
kind of
Rock
wondering why there were
stands up.
7 or 6 in the first place, but that's just me.
The 7 votes was because 2 of the judges chose 2 options. This time, one of the judges has chosen 2 options. It seems like the other judges were split down the middle.
So what then?
So, the vote is nullified and will not take effect.
Bosco would like to be changing his vote then, yes?
A thing pops up. Should Bosco change his vote? Can Bosco change his vote? It's gonna pass, so yeah.
I would like to also point out that that's not
Well,
a
hold
very
on,
good
hold-
system.
Hold on, Sebastian. Let him go with it. Let him go where this is going first.
Well, no, Sebastian would be saying this because it's actually kind of important.
Oh,
If a vote that is split down the middle ends up with a situation where the effective vote is no, that kind of nullifies all votes for yes, and I don't really think that's very fair.
The vote is nullified, so it may be voted on again.
See, now that makes sense.
Bosco would liking to change his vote now, yes?
Yes, so the same question pops up. Is Emilio responsible for Ishchu's actions?
Yes.
Alright, the vote pops up. 3 for yes, 2 for no. Really? You've killed people. I didn't kill you. I could have put a bullet in your head any of the times we slept together. Hell, I've held a gun up to you before, but just didn't pull the trigger because it wasn't my orders.
Amelia, don't you think it's bad that I would have preferred that option? Don't you think that makes you a bit
I
of a
think we
terrible
both
person?
would have preferred that option.
Bosco completely get doing a job, yes? And methods for doing job is important, yes? But your actions did cause his actions, yes?
You could say that his actions caused mine. I wouldn't have done any of that had he not been a spy. So,
And I was only a spy because of orders. So if we're both comparing jobs...
so no one's responsible.
Bosco
Great.
Bosco not be wanting to argue with the what ifs and the nonsensicals and the hypotheticals, yes? Bosco be looking at what is. And what is you did it, yes?
Yes, I did it. Fine. Give me all of his sin. Because that's all you are good for. Just blaming it on someone else. If you were given the order to have done the same thing to me, do you really think that you wouldn't have?
At the
Orders
time,
are orders.
you know what you're starting to sound a lot like? A Nazi, Amelia.
If I would recall from the recordings before, that was your exact argument. I followed my orders, just as you did.
Yes,
Well,
no one is
Amelia.
arguing against that, yes?
Amelia, if I may, and I think that you're getting a little too upset over this personally, because if you truly wanted to argue against this and you didn't think you held some of the blame, you would be arguing the person who gave you your orders was responsible.
Honestly, I don't care enough.
You don't care that you're going to be bathed in sin for something you did. 318 kills by Ishchu, and you are the reason that happened, and you don't care enough about that.
I don't. I don't
I
care if
think
I end up
that,
here. I don't care. I followed my orders, and I will continue to do so.
Well,
Bosco respect the work ethic, yes?
as do I, but I think that proves my point well enough.
She
You-
goes to step off the platform again.
I stop her one more time.
As the portal opens up, she grabs the edge of it, does
I can move the
a
portal, dude.
yeah. So she does a flip through it, flip over it, and you just kind of open up another portal. She ends up back in the middle.
No, she's looking down and fall on her face.
Please let me
I
finish.
kind of lean forward on the chair and I say, Bosco not be knowing what you think was going to happen.
I love Bosco so much.
Same. Please let me finish. What I'm saying is, if you don't care enough about this sin, and you don't care if you end up here, I think that's proof enough that you know that you're partially responsible, and you just don't want to admit it.
I'll take responsibility for the things I've done, but those were just orders. So, if you want to put this on me, fine. Give me all of the responsibility for everything you've ever done, Ishchu. I honestly don't care. If you want to place that on me instead of actually being a fucking man and doing it yourself, then fine. Do it.
What does gender have to do with this?
I think it's supposed to be some sort of figure of speech.
It still seems shitty.
I mean, yeah, but it's a figure of speech.
Bosco be agreeing.
My only point is that you're not arguing that you're not responsible or that the person who gave you your orders was. You're simply trying to make Ishchu retract his statements. Something honestly feels wrong about that, and if I had to guess, I'd say maybe your orders weren't exactly what you're trying to claim they are.
A vision pops up. It is, Amelia woke up early one day. She was in bed with Ishchu. He's kind of just rolled over, grunts a little bit. His eyes open just slightly to see that she left and goes back to sleep. She leaves the bed and goes and checks, goes outside of a nice, quaint little cabin. Checks underneath a rock. Seeing that there's nothing, she takes the rock, twists it, and it opens. Inside are orders. Orders to take the information and leave. I did what my orders told me to. I didn't go overboard. I didn't do anything extra. I did it and I left. Nothing personal.
Well, that'd be answering all of Bosco's questions. Anyone else, yes?
All of the other devils shake their head no.
Ishchu's lip is bleeding a bit from where he's biting it.
I open up a portal underneath of her and drop her off of the platform, like, over here.
Yeah, as she passes through the portal, she doesn't come out the other side. She's just gone.
Oh,
Sebastian just kind of pats Ishchu on the shoulder.
I look over at Ishchu and I kind of shrug, like, I tried.